Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Military TV. In today's session, we will discuss how MiG jets terrified and are still terrifying NATO. If you're curious on what type of MiG jets they are, stay tuned and watch this video till the end. Number 1. MiG-15. The MiG-15 with NATO designation name as Faggot is a single-seat, single-engine Soviet jet fighter which was built by the Mikoyan-Gurevich Design Bureau and first flown in 1947. As the grandfather of Soviet jet aircraft and one of the best MiG fighters, it is the most produced jet fighter in history, with nearly 18,000 aircraft made globally. This jet, which was designed immediately after World War II, gave its finest shot during the Korean War, where it fought the American F-85 Sabre in multiple duels. These two jets were formidable opponents for each other. The Sabre was more effective at low altitude. Meanwhile, the MiG had an advantage higher up. The MiG-15 is responsible for one of the darkest chapters in U.S. Air Force history, known as Black Thursday. On October 23, 1951, Soviet pilots shot down B-29A Superfortress strategic bombers and F-84 escort fighters, losing just one aircraft in the process. Number 2. MiG-21. With 11,496 units built, the MiG-21 fighter is the most produced supersonic jet in history. Due to its mass production, it had a low price. One MiG-21 cost less than one BMP-1 infantry fighting vehicle. Moreover, the MiG-21 is a notable aircraft that has served in 65 nations throughout the world. Despite the fact that it first flew almost 60 years ago, several countries such as Angola, Egypt, and Vietnam still continue using it. Among several battles and wars in which the MiG-21 served, the Vietnam War was its peak. Despite being outmanned by the U.S. Air Force, Vietnamese pilots produced exceptional results: 165 air victories and 65 aircraft lost. On January 3, 1968, pilot Ha Van Chuk went up against 36 American planes in his MiG-21 and shot down a wing commander. Number 3. MiG-25. This supersonic interceptor was developed as a countermeasure to the American B-58 jet bomber, which was able to break through Soviet defenses and launch nuclear attacks. The MiG-25 was also designed to intercept the new Lockheed SR-71 reconnaissance aircraft, which were challenging to intercept with the slow MiG-21 and Su-15 aircraft in service in the mid-1960s. Moreover, the MiG-25 fighter jet produced in 1964 was able to terrify NATO and the United States. The reason is, this fighter aircraft is still faster than any other fighter aircraft, even from the 4th and 5th generations. NATO refers to this jet as the Foxbat and is considered the world's fastest fighter jet. Interestingly, its turbojet design allows the aircraft to reach speeds of Mach 2.8, around 3,500 kilometers per hour under operational conditions, or even Mach 3.2, nearly 4,000 kilometers per hour. The speed of the aircraft combined with its possible maneuverability seems to leave Western-made aircraft far behind. However, after a Soviet pilot defected to Japan with his MiG-25 in 1976, the aircraft was tested. It was later discovered that the plane lacked a firing radar system and was not maneuverable enough to outperform its rivals. Additionally, the interceptor was dismantled and examined by American specialists before being returned to the Soviets. Since all its secrets had been revealed to the potential enemy, the MiG-25's equipment had to be urgently replaced. Number 4. MiG-31. The MiG-31 entered service in 1981 and was the first 4th-generation combat aircraft to join the Soviet military. This aircraft is considered the most capable in the Russian Air Force today in terms of air-to-air combat performance. Actually, the platform was developed based on the MiG-25 Foxbat 3rd-generation interceptor and was dubbed Super Foxbat. Interestingly, the MiG-31 had an extremely long range and was the first aircraft of its kind in the world capable of sustaining cruising at supersonic speeds. What seems to be important is that the MiG-31 was built to be a home defense interceptor and was neither exported nor used in combat. but Moscow maintains hundreds of the fighters in its inventory as part of its multi-layered air defense network and will continue to do so for years to come. The Foxhound gained a dark reputation in NATO intelligence reports owing to ambiguous but glowing intelligence claims on its capabilities. It's no wonder why these interceptors are very impressive. In fact, even now, NATO is wary of them. Number 5. MiG-29. The MiG-29 began development in 1974 with the goal of being an advanced lightweight multi-role fighter capable of operating from remote airfields at the front lines of the Cold War. The first MiG-29s became operational in 1982 and were codenamed Fulcrums by NATO. This jet was the first Russian fourth-generation fighter jet, distinguished by its sleek and deadly appearance in contrast to earlier Soviet fighters. The fast and agile Fulcrum could outrun any NATO fighter, and it was armed with advanced missiles. The MiG-29 is one of the best modern fighters and is currently in use by 28 countries. Its relatively low price meant it initially attracted extensive sales to developing countries. By the 1990s, Western pilots had ample opportunity to fly MiG-29s as the German Air Force incorporated the MiG-29s of East Germany. Later, the United States even bought 21 from Moldova. Interestingly, the dual RD-33 turbofan engines provided the MiG-29 outstanding acceleration and a top speed of Mach 2.25, which was faster than the F-16 but slower than the larger F-15. The MiG-29's chief claim to fame is its superb maneuverability. It can even outperform the light-footed F-16 in both instantaneous and sustained turns, 28 degrees per second versus 26. NATO pilots that practiced against the German Air Force Fulcrum serving in JG-73 found that in short-range dogfights at low speeds, the MiG-29 was more agile than anything they threw at it. These are probably the reasons why these jets seem so terrifying to NATO. That's all for today. If you find this video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and comment. And the most important one is to click the subscribe button for more updates on awesome videos.